Hey, what's up? This is Gary from Raz Rentals. So, I'll admit it, I'm a little bit of a slacker. I've had this Wave 5 set in my possession for probably, I don't know, a month if not longer now, and it's just been sitting here staring at me, and I felt so bad because these guys, they want to get out. They want to get some fresh air. They want to get posed and set up on my shelf and stuff like that, but I've just been like, guys, look, I'm sorry, but I got to do these Ninja Turtle reviews, and I got to work. And they'd be like, come on, Gary, come on, let us out already. Not to mention, I still got to review Buzzsaw Hordak and Clamchamp. So it's about time I review all these guys and, get this behind me. So Wave 6 will show up eventually, and then that'll sit here for a month. I was really looking forward to talking about this wave because one of my favorite characters is here. That's Faker. Of course, he's just a He-Man repaint pretty much, but I just love him. There's just something about the blue color that always, I don't know, it always calls out to me. I really like it on Faker, Skeletor, and, all those, old toys from back in the 80s. I also was really looking forward to picking up Merman because I like this look on Merman a lot more than the classic toy Merman. I always had He-Man books growing up, and he always had this face instead of that other face that he had. So I always wanted a Merman with this kind of face. Now, Fisto, this toy looks awesome. I will say that, but Fisto has never been one of those favorite characters of mine just because he's like a knight. He's a regular guy with a giant fist. I always wanted the monsters and creatures and animal people on He-Man. I always thought that they were the coolest. And Evil-Lyn, her, I don't know. She's not necessarily my favorite either. So before I pull these guys out, let's talk about the packaging here. Now, all these guys come on these cool, cards with the exploding red rocks behind them. They look awesome. Just the way that the bubble forms around their bodies, it just looks perfect. I feel bad for kids nowadays because when you go to Walmart, all you do is see He-Man and Skeletor. You don't get to see any of these other guys. If I was a kid, I would want to go to Walmart and see all these toys all over the place, and your imagination would start running wild, and you'd be like, oh, I want that guy, I want to take him home, and I want to start playing with him, and I want to do things. But it's you have a mixture of things. You either have collectors going in there and buying all these before, kids can even get them, or just Walmarts and Targets just aren't getting any of these guys. I don't understand it. Every time I go to Target and Walmart by me, all they have is He-Man and Skeletor. How can it be like that for a year and a half? How come I can never see any other waves in any store? On the back of all the cards, you'll find some amazing artwork done by Axel Jimenez. I know it begins with a G, but I'm not 100% on the pronunciation. I apologize. And, this guy has just been killing it, All the card art in this series is amazing. I think that it is probably the best card art out there right now. Super 7 has some cool things with their reaction figures. Some of the NECA, deluxe figures for their Ninja Turtle lines, that has some cool art. But this is just, amazing. The compositions are always exciting. The colors are very vivid. And there's always, cool characters, locations, monsters, and items, thrown in there that I don't know anything about. But, it makes me want to know more. It makes me feel kind of like a kid again. Just looking at this and imagining what's happening outside the frame, coming up with different storylines and stuff like that. I don't know. It's really great. I really appreciate all the artwork by this guy. So the back of Evil-Lyn's card, it says, with dark magic at her disposal, Evil-Lyn's powers make her one of Eternia's greatest threats. And this is just a cool shot of Evil-Lyn with this this newer coloring, or I guess this is in older times. This is before she got jaundice. And then you have Stinkor here, who isn't coming out until, I think, Wave 6. And then you have Triclops in his original uniform. You got the cool variant of Merman. And, man, I just... what's his name? Trapjaw. He's one of my favorite guys. I'm always happy to see him in there. So down here, what does this action figure do? Well, you can fit the crystal ball into her hand, and you can twist her into powerful battle positions. On the back of Fisto's card, we get this amazing shot of Fisto fighting his arch rival, Jitsu. This just looks awesome. I'm really happy that recently Mattel has revealed Jitsu will be out in Wave 7. So, I can't wait. I can't wait to pose these guys fighting each other on my shelf. So, up here it says, the rugged fighter with the metal fist. Fisto uses his incredible strength to protect Eternia's enchanted forest. So, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I have no idea what this background is. I know that it's Eternia's enchanted forest because it says right there. But I don't know what that building is. But just looking at this, you're like, man, I wish that there was like a comic done by this guy. Like, I would check it out. Down here you have Stridor, who has also been recently announced, and they've shown pictures and stuff like that. And hopefully Night Stalker over there, hopefully he comes out soon. So down here it says you can fit the sword in his hand. That's all good. And again, you can twist him into powerful battle positions. The Merman card has some pretty awesome artwork too. And like, what the hell is this? Is that like a badgerfish or something? Like, I don't know what that is, but I like it. Another thing here, this Tila, she looks different compared to the Tila toy, so I'd be curious if they'll release another variant of Tila with a blonde hairstyle. So, Merman's card says, as ruler of Rakash, I don't know how you say it, Merman orders the monsters of the deep at the behest of the evil Skeletor. Alright, so, you can fit the sword of Rakash, how do you, in his hand, and you can twist him into powerful battle positions. Again, the Faker card art is pretty cool, and it shows a pretty awesome scene unfolding before your very eyes. I imagine that Ram-Man and Man-E-Faces are walking peacefully, joyfully, when they see, hey, who is that? Oh, it's He-Man. Hey, He-Man, what's up? And then bam, sneak attack. Faker reveals himself. Now I'm a little salty about this Faker cat down here, because Mattel has recently released this guy as a pre-order, but he was like a con exclusive, and I missed out on him, so I'm pretty bummed about that. But in general, this just looks awesome. I hope since the Lords of Power Merman and Beastman have been released, that they will release this guy in retail. Faker's card says, the robotic replica Faker lures the heroes of Eternia into deadly traps. Pretty awesome. Now down here it says that you can remove his chest armor for robotic reveal. It's only a sticker, but it's pretty cool. And down here at the bottom it says, twist into powerful battle positions. Again! So that's like the coolest thing all these guys can do. And pretty much that is the main upgrade. That's why you're buying all these guys. All these figures include a mini comic. The Wave 5 comic is called Sucker Punch. And here you can see He-Man attempting to kill Fisto. Maybe he's mad that Fisto only put $20 in his birthday card, instead of $50. Like, you said I was your favorite nephew. How could you do this to me? Nah, we all know it's Faker, right? So the comic art is okay. I kind of wish that Axel was doing all the interiors of these books. That would be pretty cool. I haven't had a chance to read any of these mini comics either. One of these days I'm going to have to sit down and go through all of them. So one of the cool things about these mini comics is that they try to include all the figures in the wave inside of the book, So you have Fisto, you have Faker, you have Merman, and Evil-Lyn. Only here, this is like not the variant of Merman included in this wave. And here, and even Evil-Lyn, she's the yellow jaundice Evil-Lyn. She's not the one included here. So that's kind of a mistake in my opinion. So here they are, all out of the package and ready for battle. Now, here's my honest opinion about this wave. When compared to waves 1, 2, 3, and 4, in my opinion, this wave seems a little underwhelming. Now, that may upset you. I get it. But this is my honest opinion about the situation here, all right? You pretty much only have one unique figure in this wave, and that's Fisto, right? And in my opinion, like I said earlier, I always like the monsters and the animal people and stuff like that more than just regular guys. So for me, Fisto isn't the most exciting guy in the world, right? And I think he's cool. I would not pick up Fisto, he was obviously a guy everybody remembers, and I especially remember as a kid. It's just that, I would rather get like Clawful or Whiplash, or what's his name? The green guy with the tail. I'm having a brain fart here. Every other character in this, though, is essentially, pretty much a repaint. Like, Evil-Lyn is just a repaint of the Wave 1 figure. And as much as Faker is one of my favorite characters, I mean, it's just He-Man with blue and purple, So, and Merman, I mean, he's got a lot of cool new bits and pieces on him, but essentially, it's just Merman again. We had Merman in Wave 3. Like especially compared to Wave 4, which came right before this, that had Ninjor, Triclops, I think it had Stratos, and Hordak. Like, every one of those characters is very unique, So as much as I think a lot of the stuff is cool, and as much as I appreciate getting a Merman that I think is cooler than the original Merman, and like I said, Faker, to me it's just like, I kind of wish they would have thrown in one other extra guy in here instead of maybe Evil-Lyn. Like, maybe save that for a little bit and given me like Clawful or Grizzlor or something. If you're a fan of purple, though, this wave is perfect for you because Evil-Lyn's got purple, Fisto and Faker, they all got purple. Poor Merman, he's the odd man out. Alright, so before we get into, each character by themselves, I'm just going to do a very quick articulation breakdown because they all pretty much have the same articulation. So let's take a look at Faker. And like I said, he's my favorite of the wave, so I'll use him just so I can show him on screen more. The head spins all the way around. You have a swivel in the shoulder. You also have a hinge there too. You have a single elbow joint that can swivel all the way around. You have a hinge there. The wrist can swivel all the way around. You got a hinge there too. The waist can swivel. The hips here, they have a hinge, so you can kind of make them kick out like this, and you can make them go forward. They're not exactly like ball joints. Like, you don't have like complete freedom to move them all over the place. You kind of have some kind of limits here. The knees, they can swivel all the way around, and they have a hinge too, which is good. So you can get some pretty nice bends in your knees. And you have a boot cut here, and you also have ankle rockers, and you have a hinge in the ankle. The guys, their knee flap is kind of weird, but it's not as like off-putting as like the female characters. So let's take a look at Evil-Lyn really quick here. I think the female legs in this line, they're just weird looking. I do not like these at all. The knee flaps are just very strange, and nope, sir, I don't like it. Other than that, she has all the same exact articulation that Faker has. It's all the same across the board. But like I said, those knees, those weird looking knees. Here's your battle of the year right here. Who has the weirdest knees? April or the female Masters of the Universe figures? Just weird. Here's the brand new Evil-Lyn next to the Wave 1 Evil-Lyn and the original Evil-Lyn. The original Evil-Lyn came out in Wave 2 of Masters of the Universe. That was 1983. Now, I don't know if the design was originated in the cartoon or if the toys came out first. I'm not really sure, because both Season 1 of Masters of the Universe and Evil-Lyn came out in 1983. So, maybe they were working with each other here. But for whatever reason, they made her like yellow and her suit look, different colors than how it appears in the show. I think that this brand new Evil-Lyn matches the cartoon design, a little better. It's not like 100% or anything like that, but I think it's a little closer than the original toy of Evil-Lyn. Alright, so let's compare this brand new Evil-Lyn to the Evil-Lyn from 1983. I never actually did any reviews on Wave 1 because at that time I wasn't making any toy reviews. So this is the first time where I'm actually getting to take a good look at how this figure compares to the original one. Because, I mean, the Wave 1 Evil-Lyn is the same exact figure, just different colors. My other question is this Evil-Lyn, are the colors supposed to look more like the 2000X Evil-Lyn? Obviously, I'm a little ignorant on the subject, so fill me in below. So, it looks pretty cool. The original Evil-Lyn's face is a lot more cartoony, you know, maybe a little more undefined or soft or something like that. It's definitely a lot rounder. This brand new one is a little skinnier and the details are a little sharper, especially in the headdress up here, this helmet or whatever she wears. It's very sharp compared to this original one. Like the skull there is painted really well and you can really see the detail. This one is kind of globby, you know, a little bit like that. Like certain spacings and proportions of the design on the armor, you know, fills out a little differently, but pretty much all of the same shapes are pretty much there. You know, she's got these armbands on both of her biceps, and she's got like these gauntlets. They look pretty much exactly the same. They both match. I mean, there's not really much to really say about her outfit or her armor. You know, it's not like one of the robots or, I don't know. It's very, very simple, but pretty cool. I mean, and like they use this on Teela too. This is all just Teela's. She has the same exact body as Teela, it's just painted differently. But yeah, it looks good. I think it's a very cool upgrade. This original Evil-Lyn, you know, she falls over all the time. She's not the best. Although the knees definitely look a lot nicer. There's some actual definition there. You can see her kneecaps and everything like that. These ones, you know, they look kind of like weird tubes. So that is an upgrade. I like, you know, I really do like the color scheme. Like the very pale skin and the purples. You know, you have 3 different kinds of purples here. And even the black boots, I think, you know, this color scheme works really well with her. I kind of wish she had a cape, though. I think if she had a cape, she'd be, like, perfect. If you look at the brand new crystal ball next to the crystal ball from 1983, it's actually like a perfect match almost. Like, pretty much the size is exactly the same. It's the same length. And, yeah, it's just the top of it looks spot on. You know, that looks pretty awesome. The biggest difference is the bottoms of the rod. You know, this one definitely has a more rounder shape. And this one just kind of has like, you know, it's just a cylinder all the way up. And then it kind of just has like this little dent there or the ridge going around along the bottom. And just for the sake of it, here was the Wave 1 crystal ball. Like, yeah, this is like a perfect matchup. Both the original and this brand new Evil-Lyn can hold the crystal ball exceptionally well. I mean, the original one, she's got like a closed gripping hand, so you know that crystal ball isn't going anywhere. And this brand new Evil-Lyn, she's got a pretty tight grip on that, so that works perfectly. Here's the brand new Fisto standing next to the original Fisto. The original Fisto came out in Wave 3. That was in 1984. You know, despite me saying that Fisto is not one of my favorite Masters of the Universe action figures, like, he still looks awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, he looks awesome here with this giant fist. Like, I really like the way that this brand new Fisto looks, you know. I think, you know, he's definitely a cool-looking character. At first glance, I kind of think that this Fisto looks like maybe a little smaller. I didn't really notice that a lot before, of like the characters being a little smaller than their original versions, but he definitely looks a lot smaller than this original Fisto. I think his head is a little shrunken, and he just doesn't have as much of a neck as that original Fisto action figure. Yeah, the brand new Fisto head is just, it looks a lot smaller than that original one. You know, some things may appear a little bigger, like the way the beard poofs out below the sideburns. That seems to be a little bigger than this original one, but, you know, all in all, this one is definitely a lot bigger. You know, there were some weird things I think about the original Fisto head. Like, it always looked like they colored the beard, and then they painted the lips on top of that. So the lip color never really matched the rest of his head. This definitely looks a lot better, because you could tell that they just painted the hair. However, if you look at the side of his heads, they didn't paint the sideburns, which I think is a mistake. I also kind of think that the details in this original, you wouldn't think it because it's like a soft head and you can squeeze it and stuff like that. But just some of the details in this one are a little sharper and clearer. And I kind of like the shape of his nose, like the bridge of it and everything like that. This one, I don't know. It looks like a little underfinished, or I don't know what you would say what it is. But, it does look cool. Like, even his eyebrows kind of match up a little bit. But the eyebrows on this original one are way more defined than this one. If you look at the armor matches pretty well. It looks as though all the little studs or bumps are in the same spot. I think color-wise, this is one of the closest Masters of the Universe Classics toys. Masters of the Universe Origins. There's way too many lines of Masters of the Universe, but the color of this brand new one matches this original one. The original one actually might even be a little brighter, which is a first for me with any of these Masters of the Universe Origins toys. The back looks really good too. Everything is nice and sharp. Yeah, like, I don't know. They seem to match this one pretty well. The fist looks pretty awesome. My, original fist, I don't know if it's, yellowed over time or what, but it looks a little more gold and yellow, silver. And this one is very, very silver. And this just looks awesome, Like, what an awesome design. I don't know. There was something so cool about those old Masters of the Universe toys. So yeah, he can punch. This guy cannot. You're just going to have to pretend that he can, wham, hit the villains right in the face. I don't know. Like, the color schemes on a lot of these Masters of the Universe toys were always really cool looking. So here's the brand new sword next to the old sword. This brand new sword is definitely sharper. The details, you can see them a lot better. Especially this band that goes across the handle and right here between the hilt of the sword and the actual blade. That's a lot sharper. The original one is just kind of, a little undefined. However, there are two little bumps next to the circle. Like, you have the circle in the middle and then you have a bump over here and a bump over there. I don't know if that's supposed to be like an extra gem or what that's supposed to be there. But that is not present at all in this brand new one. You're probably not even going to miss it, but I don't know. One thing that's... the original sword is actually longer than this brand new one. And the color, again, like Fisto's armor, is brighter than the original one is brighter than this brand new one, which is funny because most of these Masters of the Universe Origins toys are, super bright compared to your 1980s toys. So this may be a moot point, but you can get Fisto to sit in Stridor. His butt really doesn't touch the bottom of the seat, but the bottoms of his thighs do. You can get him to be in there. And, there is the brand new Stridor coming out, hopefully soon. I don't even think it's up for pre-order anywhere yet, but as soon as it's put up, I'm going to pre-order that thing because it looks amazing. You mean I can have a Stridor with movable legs and stuff? And I know that there's the Classics version, but I didn't buy that. But I definitely will buy the Masters of the Universe Origins version of Stridor. And, Fisto, he just looks awesome riding this giant mechanical horse. Mine's a little tilting a lot. Here's the brand new Wave 5 Merman standing next to the Wave 3 Merman and the original Merman from 1982. He actually came out in Wave 1 back then. And I don't care what anybody says, this Wave 5 Merman is the best of all. I always preferred this design. I think he looks pretty awesome. I think, look at the armor here. That looks so much cooler and more, detailed and more thought out and just looks really awesome. This is how I always picture Merman because when I was a kid, I had the Masters of the Universe book, Caverns of Fear. And I definitely looked at this more than I watched the cartoon, and I didn't have the original Merman toy. So this look, the way Merman looks in this book is how Merman will always look to me. And this brand new Merman looks just like this. Now, they actually released a Merman that was similar to this style in the 2000X series, and there was a 2000X series toy of this Merman that I thought was pretty awesome. But here is one of the problems with being a collector, right? I had my Merman figure up there, right next to that, like, Dark Ages Night Spawn or whatever. And as you can see, I have this CD shelf right here, and I have this this shelf right here, right, with these doors, and there's a space between them. And unfortunately, my Merman was up there, and he fell down, like, I don't even know how many years ago, probably like 2 years ago. So he is down there, collecting dust, getting dirty, next to a clown figure. So eventually, I will get him again. Alright, so let's take a look at this brand new Merman and see how he differs from the Wave 3 Merman. First, you know, like I said before, the face. I just think the face looks awesome. I think he looks more like a fish than this original one. I love these little, like, protrusions or maybe antennas, or what do you call it? It looks more like an angler fish kind of thing. I like all that. I think that looks awesome. You know, I think that even his teeth and stuff like that looks more like a fish. His eyes look, you know, they're piercing my soul, but they look amazing. I love how the armor is a lot bigger. I like all these jagged spikes coming off the sides of it. I like how the neck piece here goes all the way around and actually has spikes all the way around his head. You know, these, I feel like, you know, these like seashell spikes or whatever coming out by the shoulders, I think they, you know, they look a little better. Like this one, they kind of just like, I don't know, like they're just kind of sitting there. They don't look, I don't know, they're just like there because they're there. But here on this one, it looks, everything looks a little more put together, you know. I mean, this seashell thing across the belt buckle looks pretty similar. You know, there's not really much to say about that. You have these little tiny tendrils coming off of his belt. Those just look cool, you know. That's kind of like, you know, like a drape or something he's got going on down there. I like how he actually has gloves, and he kind of has like fins coming off of his gloves. I think that looks really nice. You know, the original one is very plain. I mean, he's just pretty much all green except for his loincloth, his belt, and then this thing here. So I like all these little extra bits of yellow. I like the look of the boots too. I think that they look really nice. You know, just this design, you know, I like that. I think it's pretty cool. Interesting, his loincloth is soft, or it's like smooth. It's not like an actual loincloth. That's interesting. Does he have a belt? No. He doesn't have a belt. So that's an interesting change. I don't know. I don't know. I think that this brand new Merman just looks awesome. I definitely prefer this. You know, if I ever saw extra or more of these Wave 3 Mermans, I would possibly say to, like, you know, you could buy like a few of these and build like an army of them. Like they're sort of like the people who work underneath him, and he's the main one because he's so much more stylized, and, you know, he looks more regal, or like he's more of a like he's more powerful than this guy or something about it. Like they look very similar, but I still think you could get away if you had both of these guys on yourselves pretending that they are two different people fighting in the same army or something like that. Unfortunately, this Merman has the same exact sword that was included with the Wave 3 Merman. I kind of wish that they would have given him a different weapon, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I can get over having a repeat sword for having a even better designed Merman. So, and now we're up to Faker, the final figure in Wave 5. And, you know, Faker, like I said before, he's always been a favorite of mine. The original Faker came out in 1983. That was Wave 2. They did a really decent job here of matching the colors, but the brand new Faker is definitely a lot brighter. Every color is brighter than that original one. You know, maybe it got darker over time. I don't know. He's definitely brighter. Not that much brighter in some spots, but definitely brighter. You know, there was just something about that original head that it's like there's something about that soft looking He-Man head that just looks so sharp. You know, this new one is definitely a lot softer than that one, and you wouldn't think it would be, but it's like it almost looks realistic or something like that, like it's playing mind tricks with me or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. The original Faker looked pretty cool. This brand new Faker, this head looks good. You can tell that the hair is a separate piece from the actual head. And it's just, you know, it's a lot brighter. But like, the actual design, like, of the armor looks pretty good. The bat is, like, shaped pretty similarly, but just, like, a little different. It's kind of hard to... Orange is, like, not the best color to shoot with your camera. I was having trouble when I was doing the ectoplasm ghosts, too. It's like it just doesn't want to show up. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, so the bats are pretty similar. These, like, crossbones with the gem, they're pretty similar too. You know, he just wears Skeletor's armor anyway. Let's see. The brand new Faker is pretty cool because, you know, you have these arm gauntlets or bands, and they're actually painted. On this side, it actually goes all the way around his arm. Although this one goes up a little higher. The loincloth, you know, all matches. The boots match. Just like I said, everything is brighter. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you the original Faker's sticker because I do not have one. But we'll do it the easy way here. Here you can see the robotic bits or sticker on this Faker, and this does not appear like a sticker. It feels like it's almost like painted on or something like that. But yeah, that looks pretty awesome. I like that. Like as if the people of Eternia wouldn't know that this guy was a robot. Like they have to pull off his armor to find out, oh my gosh, now I know he's a robot. Not because he's blue and he looks just like He-Man. It's really funny to me that something so simple like a color scheme change can create a brand new character, an evil character. Because, I mean, he's just the same as He-Man. He's just blue. But when you look at him, you're like, oh yeah, that is definitely a separate character. You know, that's not just a repaint. He's his own person. It kind of reminds me of the Lost Vikings, you know. I always loved that game and how you had, like, the good Viking, what's his name, Balog or Baylog, Barlog or something like that. And then all of a sudden, you're fighting an evil clone version of him in a Candyland world. The brand new Faker sword is actually pretty awesome because unlike the original one, it's actually a complete sword. You have both sides here. The original one is just the half of the sword. You know, that's a bummer. And I believe they were releasing Skeletor and He-Man again with their, like, original heads with actual full swords, because every time they've released He-Man, the battle armor version or the regular version, they only give him half swords. So eventually you should be able to get yourself a full sword, which is pretty awesome. The brand new Faker actually holds the sword really well. There was, like, when they released Keldor, like, I was having trouble getting him to actually hold that full sword, but this Faker holds this sword really well. So maybe they shrunk the handle down a little bit. I don't know, but it fits in there really good. And that is Wave 5 of Masters of the Universe Origins. Is it the best wave out there? No, I don't think so. You know, I do think it has a lot of great things to offer. You know, I think the brand new version of Merman is fantastic. I love Faker. And, you know, Fisto, even though, like I said, he's not one of my favorite characters, he's still an awesome character that everybody wants to have. He has a pretty decent design, you know, and I just love that giant fist, that metally fist he has that he can use to pound the villains right in the face. You know, Evil-Lyn is cool. I actually like this version of Evil-Lyn a lot more than the Wave 1 version. So, all in all, I think that, you know, this is a good wave, just not the best. I don't think it could top 4 or 2. So, you know, I can't wait to see what comes next. As I was making this video, Wave 6 arrived at my door, so I gotta get on top of that. try to review that, and hopefully I'll have that out in January of 2022. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and talk to you later.